You are officially in the incinerator. Welcome to Midnight Madness, the midnight live streams that we do here on the Alert Zone TV. I would love for you guys and girls out there to become active citizens of the zone. Y'all already know how to do that. Shout out to everybody because this is a worldwide movement. I hope everybody is having a good night. We gonna have a. I'm not gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna keep y'all 30 minutes because these turn out midday mania and midnight madness starting, especially midnight madness. It's starting to turn out to be a. So we gonna get it rolling here. As you come in, hit the likes button, all that good stuff for me. Subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're watching from a foreign country, shout out to you and your country. Whether you catching it live or on the replay, drop your country in so we can know that you're watching from a foreign country so we can shout you out. To all my domestic people in America, shout out to y'all because this is a worldwide movement. As you guys can see, I'm rocking my Charles Bronson shirt with the 2 revolvers. Definitely give everybody a couple minutes to get up in here. Before I get started, I want to say shout out to GunTube. Definitely shout out to my brother, my brothers, and my sisters over there at a regular gun guy. You guys, if you haven't caught any of his lives, catch them, man. They be having some really dope discussions. I learned a lot from the channel. I learned a lot from the people in the comment section. So definitely make sure y'all check out his lives because he's always putting down good work. Here in the Alert Zone TV, I understand that this channel sometimes can make people uncomfortable. And, you know, I get it. I am what I am, and I'm going to stay consistent to my brand of putting out my contribution to the Second Amendment conversations. Oh, what's going on, Carl? I can't call it. Just gonna have a little chat with y'all tonight. Definitely. Make sure as you come in, you hit the likes button, please. This helps with the algorithm. You guys and girls know how YouTube work. If you ain't got the machine pushing behind you, they don't recommend you. All right, what's going on, John? I can't call it. Just giving everybody a couple minutes to get up in here like we usually do. I think this is going to be a pretty good topic that we're going to talk about. Usually it spirals into other kind of shit. And that's good, though. That's good. I'm glad we have our brand. As I always say, this is the nutritious channel. It's not the fried shrimp, fried catfish, hamburgers, and french fries here. This is the cauliflower and Brussels sprouts channel. You're not going to be excited. You need it. When you digest it, sometimes you got to hold your breath, but it is what it is. Yeah, we going to have a talk about that. That's what tonight's program is about. Not just that, but I want to kind of change a narrative about something pertaining to that. That's why I named it No More Safe Places. All right, what's going on, Julian? Was that Maniko? Hope I ain't murdered your name because I'm known for butchering the name. Not on purpose. I don't do it on purpose, but I'm known for butchering the name from time to time. But yeah, shout out to GunTube, man. And when I say GunTube, I mean all of y'all that consume the content that we put out here. Shout out to all y'all. If this ain't the channel for you, I understand. To all of y'all that's getting the product reviews and y'all getting sponsorships, man, I salute y'all guys and girls. I'm happy for y'all. I'm very, very happy for y'all. It's about time. Okay. Thank you, Mimco. Look like it say Mimco Julian. But yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Shit. Tonight we're gonna have a discussion about no more safe places. For you guys who don't know, the details are still very sketchy. There was some kind of an event that happened today in Atlanta where somebody was airing the joint out. I'm hearing the CDC building in Emory University. Somebody went there and had a grievance and started airing the joint out. Condolences to the officer that lost his life. I do understand one officer was unalived in the melee. He looked pretty young. Condolences to him and his family. My condolences to anybody that was there. If you're not used to that stuff, it can be very traumatic. I've seen people standing there in shock, and that's the really the meat and potatoes about tonight's subject. You know, a lot of times we hear people say, stay out of crowded areas. They don't go to large gatherings. I want you guys and girls to understand something about this week. Just a couple days ago, we had a soldier at a military base air the joint out. Thank goodness he didn't unalive nobody, but he shot 5 of them. A military base is supposed to be one of the safest places on the damn planet. You had the military base. I'm not sure what else other high profile carnage we had, but weak. And it's been in places where people least expect it. All right, Michael, what you going on? How you doing? It's been in places where it's been least expected, that nobody thinks, like a hospital, the CDC, is somewhere that's going to be shot up. A soldier shooting up a barracks. This ain't happening in the hood at a concert where some drill rappers was hanging out at, or the homeboys Pookie and Ray Ray acting a fool. This is the CDC. I kind of have my speculations about why the CDC was targeted, but I can't say it here on YouTube because there's a certain medical decision you can't speak against on YouTube, and you guys and girls already know what it is. All right, Destro, we got Destro in the house. Shout out to you. We appreciate you for joining in. But you had the Army incident. Just right now, man, nowhere is safe. The issue going on in the Middle East, I'm not going to get involved politically with that, with the whole Israel Palestinian thing, but they're already talking about occupying it and taking control, so that's another mess in itself. You got the Congo going on. Yeah, for him to do that. Yep, 2 shootings in Georgia this week, and that's what I'm talking about. In places you wouldn't expect. And, man, let me say this as a man. As an American man also. We don't have a lot of outlets. A lot of us don't talk to therapists. Especially in today's climate. Because a lot of therapists, especially female therapists, a lot of them love to put their patient's business out in the public. Unfortunately, social media has corrupted that particular profession to the point you guys and girls know there's been several of them that have got on the internet and ran their male patients in the ground to the point where they lost their practice. And I don't turn into no gender war. I'm just saying, as men, we don't really have the outlets People don't think about what we're going through. That's why we have heart attacks in America. That's why we have so many strokes. That's why we have so much of acting out. Because men are always told to suck it up. Men are always told to suck it up. Come on, man up, figure it out. Sometimes you need an outlet, and when you don't have that outlet, man, you just lose it. I don't want to get into all the politics of the military because I don't know exactly why this happened. But I wanted to do the nice program just to let everybody know. Ain't no more safe places. All of us. All of us. Yep. You're right about that, Benjamin. All of us. All right, appreciate you for subscribing, Mimco, Julian. And make sure anybody you know that needs to hear what we talk about here in the Alert Zone TV, you get them to subscribe. You know what? Yeah. As men, I'm just saying this as men, and especially as American men. Don't matter what racial background you come from. Sometimes it feels good to have an outlet, whether your outlet be video games, or the gun range, or fishing, something where you can ease your mind. I know a lot of times talking to therapists, we're very apprehensive of them, talking to therapists, and sometimes we don't like the stigma of that we're going to see a therapist, so we must be crazy. Something must be wrong with us. Mental health is real on top of everything else. We just live in a different world. Oh, okay, I appreciate that, Benjamin. I'm glad I can help. When I talk about the things, okay. When I talk about a lot of the things I talk about, this channel helps give me an outlet. I get to put my 2 cents in to the Second Amendment community. I get to share my experiences, but also you guys and girls get to share your experiences here, and we can compare notes. I know the feeling of almost going through a depression. I know the feeling of having something on my mind to the point where I can't even function. And do my job right. I've had it happen to me. That I was supposed to be doing one thing and I was doing something totally different. Let me say this before we go further. To everybody out there, but in particular men. I want to talk to my men for just a minute. Whatever it is you do that helps you relax, that helps you decompress, do me a favor. Don't give it up. If going to a cigar lounge, sitting on your sofa and having a drink, playing video game, some guys like to go work in the yard, shoot, whatever you do to relax your mind, to soothe yourself, to be your pressure outlet, to take the pressure off, don't stop doing it. When you stop doing that, you bring a lot of stress on yourself. And sometimes it makes you snappy and it makes you react. Sometimes you just one silly person away from losing your mind. But besides that, I want to say this: ain't no more safe places. We talked about the hiking, biking, walking trails, and how a couple was killed by a school teacher. I want you to think about that for a minute. There's nothing that's supposed to be more innocent as a profession in this world than a school teacher. And yet a school teacher took two people off this fucking planet. Yeah, man. It's just been a crazy week. It's a crazy time. August is here. So you guys know as the heat turns up, the streets turn up, and unfortunately, more blood start being spilled. All right, we got Manuel. Well, I say this. For all my religious people, I always tell them, praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. But yeah, I just wanted to talk. You know, it's August, September coming. Usually August and September is the warmest 2 months. You got school getting ready to start back up, which means more traffic. Man, we got a lot going on. We have a lot going on. Understand something. It can happen at any time, any place, for any reason. All right, what's going on, Pause and Play? Man, just sitting here talking, chopping it up with everybody. You know, like I said, they're being very vague about the details of this shooting because the officer was already dead and the mayor even refused to say that he was gone already. Everybody knew he was gone, you know? You know what? I haven't taken it back out. I haven't had a chance. Somebody said I need to put a stronger extractor spring in it. I'm gonna see about getting that done. When I take it back out to try it again, I'm gonna video it. You guys know I don't have an issue with if I have a malfunction. You know, guys, this is not the we do it raw and uncut here. It's raw, it's uncut, it's unedited, it's unfiltered. That was the concept I came up with this show, and that's the concept I want to stick. The concept I want to stick to. This is what works for me, because you know what? Through all my mistakes of doing this, I can be something that everybody can have a template by, and you can look at the mistakes I make if you decide you want to get into making content, and you can know to avoid that. But for me, I like the raw and uncut. I like it just the way it is. But yeah, I gotta check that the spring out, the extractor, injection spring, what have you. I was told that it's just 2 weeks, so okay, good, thanks, Mimco. Yeah. Other than that, you know, like I said, my 300 blackout been a work in progress. I think I'm gonna get a Big Dre to make me one from was it OWR Ornament. Later in the year or so, I'm gonna get him to make me one, and cause I shot one of his at Arm 5 with the can on it. That's what made. Speaking of that, let me go ahead on and talk about this. I got a chance to shoot a gun with a suppressor on it for the first time at Arm 5. I've never shot a gun with a suppressor on it. I shot several. Yeah, I was really surprised, man. I was really surprised at how they performed. They had some really put together firearms out there. So I got a chance to shoot a couple handguns with cans and a couple of rifles. So, but yeah, like I said, you know, right now, man, it's just the gas stations. You guys and girls know in some places the gas stations are death traps. Go to them in the daytime. Get your gas. Get out of there. You don't got time to be giving nobody nothing. If they didn't come with you, hey, how you doing? And you keep going. The jugging. For those of you who don't know, I watched a story in Houston about, I think they said they had 21 arrests in jugging incidents. One of them, the woman was smart enough that she was on alert when she left the bank. She just noticed as she was driving, this couple cars kept following her. So she decided to call 911. They sent a couple unmarked cars and a couple marked cars to follow her. They had her drive to a police station. They intercepted these guys and they arrested them. And as usual, one of them talked. And he said, yeah, we was planning on robbing her. Yeah. Definitely to the women. So she was smart enough to peep that out. I seen something in the chat. And I'm always going to be of the mind frame when it comes to these juggins. I think part of this is some of these bank employees participating. I can't prove it. But nevertheless, these guys, they're out here. Hell, one guy was already on pretrial detention, pretrial release. He had an ankle monitor on and went to go commit another jugging. So that just goes to show you, as I tell you guys and girls, they come in teams now. It's no more one or two. They come in 2 and 3 cars deep, and everybody's armed. They're looking for gunfights. You have to be on your P's and Q's. If you're going to the bank and you're going to take out a large sum of money, go get your gas, get you something to eat, and whatever else before you go there. Do not go and get a lump sum of money and then go stop at the gas station. You don't never know who's following you. You know, like I said, I had a couple of tellers tell me, make sure you don't leave this money in your car. And I was like, nah, So that's something for everybody to keep in mind. You cannot take your safety into you cannot take your safety for granted. You don't want anything to happen to you out here, male and female. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, these 2 shootings this week was really nasty. They was really bad. They was really horrible. But it just goes to show, from a military base to a university and the CDC, nobody's safe. I know a lot of y'all want these gun-free zones and what have you, but gun-free zones don't mean that it's a safe zone. Once again, especially if you live in the big cities, you gonna get your gas, try and get it in the daytime. If you gotta get it at night, get it and go about your business. Back home in New Orleans, there used to be a particular gas station I used to go to at night. On Claiborne and Louisiana Avenue, or Toledano, whatever you want to call it. I used to go there and get gas. And it was kind of the hangout. You see different people, you know. And then things started happening, so I just stopped going there. But everybody understand. Oh, another thing. The road rage incidents. I'm seeing more and more of them, and I'm seeing more and more females involved in these road rage incidents. You guys and girls, be careful about who you get into it with. Keep your shit with you. Keep your firearm with you, because you never know what they got on them. There's a video I look at probably just about every day, because it's almost stunning, but it's unedited. A couple years ago, some years back, there was a couple in Pennsylvania that got into it with their neighbor, because apparently they used to shovel snow on his property or whatever. He said something to them. They said something back to him. They went back and forth. This guy went in his house. He went and grabbed his pistol. He shot the male and the female. They was both still alive. He went in. He got his AR-15. He came back out. And he told her straight up, you should have kept your fucking mouth shut. And he shoots her in the head twice. He goes over to her husband that he's already shot multiple times and turns him over and tells him, I'm a pussy, huh? And he shoots him 2 more times. Now, as he goes back in the house to commit suicide, the wife is still laying in the middle of the street, somewhat moving. She didn't die instantly like the husband did. I said that to say this. Be careful what you tell people. And don't invite anybody to a gunfight that you're not willing to engage in. The husband told this man about kicking his ass and making his life a living hell and this and that. Even when this guy went and got a gun, the wife threw her shovel down and jumped in the middle of the street and was telling him, I dare you, I dare you. While her husband was saying, put the gun down and let's fight. Sometimes in situations as humans, tempers can fly. We can get into it with each other and somebody goes off the deep end and that's that. I'm just saying don't let that be you. It's not worth it out here. Male and female, because these women shooting at cars too. I'm seeing more and more and more of these road rage incidents involving women and firearms. So don't think because you didn't get into it with another man that there's not a possible lethal consequence for you. So you have to always think about that. And being there's no such thing as being in the wrong place at the wrong time if you haven't done anything wrong. Because if you minding your business, you should be allowed to go any way you want. But yeah, we had a system back in the days in New Orleans. Whoever you came with, the men especially, we would always read eyes and body language. When we see 2 dudes lock eyes with each other and give each other that look, we start nudging each other and giving the head nods. We see them 2 starting to have words, we get our party and we leave. Or we look for the emergency exit. Just in case something break out. We don't want to be caught in the middle of nobody's drama. That's why we do that. I'm telling you, when you out there, you work in an office building, you work somewhere that's a gun-free zone now, a good piece of advice to you. Always know where all the exits are, wherever you are. And understand that the shit hit the fan, you're going to have to not go for your coworkers. You got to think about yourself. You got to know where the exit is and you got to get there. If I can give anybody any piece of advice when it comes to these active shooters and stuff like that, because you just never know when it's going to happen, where it's going to happen. Like I said, the church, the CDC. This CDC incident reminds me of Luigi Mangione. When that incident, the alleged incident, because he hasn't been convicted of no crimes, that alleged incident happened. I read the comment sections and wow. They gave him state and federal charges. My personal opinion is he's gonna beat the state, but they'll find a way to get him on the feds. Because a lot of people have already said New York City, they feel like if they get on the jury, they're gonna throw the case. So if they find him not guilty, well, then you know how they go. So that's what this CDC thing remind me of. That in places that you think this will never happen, it happens. So just take that in consideration. And I was just thinking about condolences to the soldiers that were shot. condolences to their families. I know they all survived, but it could happen anytime, any place, for any reason. I'm not going to tell you having a firearm guarantees your protection, but I will tell you this. You give yourself a fighting chance, and in life, that's all you want. It's an opportunity. With that being said, I'm going to let everybody get out of here. This has been another Midnight Madness. I think tomorrow and Sunday I might get a chance to go out and do some shooting. But definitely, I plan on doing some streams. I'm going to get me a couple programs together and see where we need to go with this Alert Zone TV thing. But I did say this, and I'll say it again. I want to change the narrative. You don't have to gather in large crowds to still lose your life. You can be on your job. Oh, I know the other thing that just happened this week, or the end of last week, down in Manhattan. That guy that went up in that, was it NFL building or wherever he went up with that AR and went to airing the joint out. So yeah, it's been rough these last couple days. Who would ever thought in that place that dude would walk in as casually as he did with an AR and air the joint out? So that just goes to show you, at any given time, any given place, my Mexican people down in Mexico, you guys and girls know it can happen anytime down there. At any minute it can go off. Out in the Congo, Haiti is in the hell. Port-au-Prince is in a hellacious situation. I'm not going to say Haiti, because where they got the islands and the beaches and them folks living, it's still pretty over there. But Port-au-Prince is in shambles. Just around the world. One other thing I'm going to say before I get out of here. With the whole Cincinnati thing, I say this again. We had a bunch of foreigners come to America and start a fucking international racial incident and flee back to their country. And we stuck with the pieces, picking up the pieces. All because some people at a jazz fest wanted to have a good time, and one fucking asshole or one group of assholes showed up and rained on everybody's parade. When I tell you guys that at any given time you gotta be ready to defend yourself, and you gotta understand sometimes it don't just end there, that's what I mean. The majority of those people didn't go to a music festival looking for a fight. They went there to mind their business. And look at what happened. They're all facing a felony while the instigators get to flee the fucking country. So with that being said, I'm going to let everybody get out of here. The incinerator is burning out. Shout out to Eyes and Ears Tactical for the incinerator. Shout out to Well Dressed Tactical, Dr. T, Autumn's Armory, Hickok 45, Patrick E. Kelly, A Regular Gun Guy, Fat Guy with Guns, My Fly Family, Black Rambo, White Rambo, and his wife. Shout out to y'all. Can't wait to see y'all again. T Electric and Gun Freak Nation. We are an offshoot of Gun Freak Nation, so definitely shout out to Gun Freak Nation. And to numerous other channels that I've missed. Macmillion, North Carolina, Trey 57 Productions, and She Shoots, She Fires, Miss Red Phoenix, Yoki Stirrup, Gun Girls Atlanta, Santee TV. Santee, if you see this, reach out to me with your crazy self. I've been looking for you and looking for you and looking for you. I don't never see you posting nothing. And I be down in the H too. We could have did a couple of collabs. So I appreciate everybody hitting the likes button. I'm gonna let everybody finish their Friday night out because I know y'all had a long week and I'm going to lay down myself. But this has been another episode of Midnight Madness. Hit me in the comment section and let me know what you think. And until next time, stay safe, stay on high alert, and we out.